Hi everybody, welcome to Beyond the Lines. My name is Sarah, I'm the artist behind Pinselgeschichten, and today I'm gonna finish The Gathering in the Outlander coloring book. This is done, finally. And I'm gonna talk to you about how I use color repetition, not only using the same pencils over and over again in different kinds of parts of the page, but copying something from the background into the foreground. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. Good morning, everybody. It is very early that I'm filming this. It's 7 a.m. Lovely sunny weather outside, and I'm in the mood to finish this page today and well, get it done. Let me take all the pencils that I used so far, put them on my left for me to grab them easily, and also to put the pencils on the right side that I have to put on the block. So, which are the used pencils, by the way? There's not a lot of things to do anymore on this page, just a huge amount of gel pen work and also a little coloring here on Mrs. Fitz and the lower part, Hamish and the dog, and a little bit of, well, the room scenery. So let's get going. At this point, I want to start the way I usually color. I jumped around in previous videos on the page. This time I want to go right to left because it's just that little bit of coloring that I have to do. So let's start with Mrs. Fitz. In the background I do have a lot of browns and dark colors for the guys, and I think she needs to pop out a bit. So color-wise, on the page so far, I have a lot of browns, grays, beige tones, yellows, and the light green and the red are the contrast colors, like the focal point, like bam, this is where your eye goes. So I don't want to take that away, and I don't want to use red. Or do I? Maybe a very dark red that I haven't used so far? Things to decide. Maybe for the bodice, which is a smaller area on the page. So let's see. Because the reds I used so far are very bright and pop out quite a bit. I mean, I could maybe the 944, which is a little more towards the brownish part of the spectrum. That would be a thing. Over here, too light, too bright, I don't want to use those. So let's go for the 944, which is, oh, terracotta. As if I had known that it is a little more on the brownish side of the spectrum. Quite often I'm surprised how well I can see little small differences in colors. Weird. Anyways, so having a dark brown for her bodice, I might go with something like this rosy beige. I think that's the one I used for the Rhenish. Yes, it is. So let's take that for the skirt. And for the shirt, maybe a dark gray or a little bit of a darker gray. So where are my cool grays? You are the gray slate. I'm gonna choose you, and you're warm. Where are all my cool grays in this huge pile of pencils? They are all the warm grays and the French grays. Here's a cold gray. So let's take these. And I'm gonna start off with, first of all, sharpening my pencil. And then I'll start off with the shirt. Actually, I only need one of these protectors to go like this. And let's keep coloring. So I hope you all are joining on the 30-day coloring challenge over on Instagram. I think that it's on other social media platforms as well, but this is where I joined, coloring a little bit every day. And so far, I think I had to skip 3 days in total. Today is day 7, and I'm gonna color my lovely dragon a little more later on. I might show you. Why not? Hold on. I'm working on... Come on, coloring book. There we go. Working in the Mythomorphia to finish a page I've been coloring forever. And I'm on the last leg. So I got you zoomed in. So there's the dragon. The left-hand side is complete. And the right-hand side needs a little bit of color on these clouds here and the fish and the vase. And then I'm done. And that's what I'm working on the coloring challenge. So I like it a lot because, well, sometimes life just gets in the way, and you might not make time for your hobby or your passion, in case that is coloring. And that challenge kind of forces you to work a little bit every day. It's like 5 minutes every day that you should make time for to color. And like that, I get quite the progress work done on old work in progress pages. So that page in particular, I started coloring early 2018, like March, April, something like that. No, it was March, definitely March. And, oh, that was my jacket. And because life got in the way hard, going through a divorce and moving and such, I did not touch that page in a long time, and just started working on it again in, I think it was May, at the last coloring challenge, and this is how far I got. I only, before I restarted coloring on that page, I had only some of the lanterns colored and a small tiny part of the underbelly of the dragon. All the rest of the work was done this year. But I don't like to have work in progress pages in my books. I really don't like it at all. And especially not over an extended period of time. So I was very happy that I had the chance to restart a page there and get it hopefully finished within the next couple of days. So So I very much like the challenge for that. It gets you out of the thought process like, it's already late, I can't work for an hour on a page. I'll do that tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and you have other things to do and stuff to take care of, and then you might not color at all for a long time. So that particular challenge gets me out of that sometimes, because I fall into that trap too. I mean, life is very busy. I have very many things to do and too little time to get everything done that I want to get done. So sometimes coloring has to take the back seat, aside from Beyond the Lines, which, by the way, is one of the reasons I created that show. I wanted to have like a work time to be able to color and share with you in the process. So yeah, but since I'm only coloring in the Outlander coloring book for now, all my other books don't get a lot of love, and I have a few very nice ones that I very much enjoy and want to get back to. But I'm only going to do so on the show once I'm done with the Outlander coloring book. And there's still a couple of pages left to color in this book. So this will take a while. I'm guessing 2022 maybe. I'll be done with that book. We'll see. And then I can move on to others. I had mentioned in earlier videos that I'm not buying any new books until a book is complete. So in this case, if and only if I'll complete this book here, I allow myself to buy another one. And so far I'm very happy with it, because I have like 20 books in my desk that need time and attention and coloring media taken to them. A little bit of a bluish tint, by the way. It's still a gray, that's the slate gray, and I very much like this color, by the way. So getting back there. For the darkest shadows, just giving it a little bit of a bluish tint to counter all the red and yellow shades that I'm gonna put on her. But yeah, I do have a couple of Kirby Roseanne's books in my desk that I want to finish. Definitely the Hannah Carlson books, the Marvel coloring book, PlayStation. I'm maybe not gonna finish that, but there's a couple of pages I definitely want to get to. So I have lovely books, and they are going to get their attention once this one is done. Long-term goal. Finishing the Outlander coloring book. Da, da, da. And I'm working on it every week, as you can see. By the way, after this page is done, which is today, I'm gonna have to skip filming Beyond the Lines for a couple of weeks, because it is July, which is birthday season in my new extended family. And on top of that, I just got 5 commissions, and I need time to finish them or do them, paint and such. So I'm gonna have to take a couple of weeks off. I don't know how many. It might be 2, it might be 3. And then I'm gonna come back with this show with the next page, just to let you know. Yeah, this is so clever, Miss King. Ay, ay, ay. It's definitely early in the morning. Just to let you know that, well, I'm not sick, nothing happened. It's just that I need a couple of weeks to finish stuff for the commissions, which will be filmed for Art Day, so you can see them in the future. I think something like end of August, early September, they're gonna be up on that format. So it could also be, hold on, I filmed Art Day for end of July. So yeah, it should be more like mid to end August that those videos will come out. But I need a couple of hours to work on each of those. I mean, not only a couple of hours, it's like a couple of hours per picture, and like I said, it's 5 of them. But I've already been thinking about what I want to do with the next page in this book here, and I've got an idea. I'm not gonna use colored pencils as my main medium, that's for sure. Since it's like a little bit of a bigger scene, not as fiddly as this one with so many tiny things to color, I can go with watercolors, for example. So now I need a brown. Let's take the chocolate for shading. What's wrong? This one. And again, the lead broke. I really hope they got their quality game up to speed again. I mean, I bought those pencils years ago, and it's a known fact that for a long while Prismacolor had a little bit of trouble with quality, lots of lead breakage, and I seem to have one of those cases where that was still the case with production. But I've heard that it's gotten better, that they adjusted their production. So yeah, I'm hoping, excuse me, I'm hoping that quality improved meanwhile. I'm probably not gonna rebuy those pencils. I mean, I really like them. Love the colors. Some shades that are very important for me are missing. talking about a very dark indigo, for example, or a lovely Payne's gray. I mean, I do very much like this slate gray. That is a shade I don't really have with my polychromos. I have something very close to it, and it's called, I think, Juniper. But this one here is a little more bluish than the pencil in the Faber-Castell set. But I'm not gonna miss most of the shades of this set. I can use other pencils, like for example the Faber-Castell. I really love those. Polychromos are my favorite pencils. I only tried a couple of different brands of colored pencils. I don't have every set that is available on the market, and I don't have to have them. I don't want to have them. They just clutter up my supply shelves, and I would probably not use them as often as I should to validate that I buy another set of pencils. But once this all these pencils are little nubs and used, I will probably not rebuy them. I mean, I use them now just to use them, for one, because I don't like to have supplies that only are on my shelf and look pretty, but I never use them. I like to have a very functional studio with only supplies that I use, and not to collect supplies, if you know what I mean. So I'm at one point gonna have one less set of colored pencils on my shelf. All right, now I gotta adjust the colors to bring them together, the brown and the, what's it called? Rose beige? Rose beige. So I'm gonna go and bring in, let's see, are you dark enough? Yeah, let's bring in the clay rose for one to shade. Just a tiny little bit on these folds here. And then I need a sip of tea. Before I bring in the next color. And I'm gonna use sienna brown to give this a little bit of a brownish tint. Still have the rose colors visible underneath, but bring it closer to the color of the bodice. So I'm using a very, very light touch to just give it a little bit of a very soft layer on top. And I'm starting with the shaded areas and see how much I gotta pull in the color towards the light section to like I said, bring this section, the skirt, closer to the bodice when it comes to color. And when and to see when the point is reached that I don't have to cover everything up, because I like to have a little bit of these lighter areas down here where you can only see the rose color, rose beige to be exact. And there we go. And that's a spasm in my leg. Hold on, guys. Thank you, MS. Nice to have you with me today. All right. I had mentioned in previous videos that I do want to have a little bit of reflection on clothes and hairs and such from fireplaces that are off screen, off frame here. So I'm going to bring in my goldenrod pencil again, and just like with the folds here and the cap, the skin, the apron, I'm going to add a little bit of goldenrod here on the right hand side, because I think she's just standing quite close to a fireplace. And it reflects off of her shirt, or just changes the hue of the color. Not so much on her right hand side. Oh, I just had to turn on my table to see what is what. Did I ever tell you that I have difficulty to tell left and right apart? If not, well, here's a little nugget for you. I have trouble doing so. All right, and just a smidge of the yellow here on the skirt as well. Just on some of these folds. Like so. All right, next up, the plate. I want a little bit of that light green down here, because this looks like a huge ball of minced meat or like a major Scotch egg or something on a little bit of salad or other greenery. So let's color it that way. I have no idea what she's carrying, but that is fine. Even darker green. And some more of the light tone. And for, what are you? Light umber. Yes, I want you. Want a little bit of goldenrod. Mineral orange. And where's the espresso pencil? There it is. So I'm gonna go for colors like on the birds here or on the ham. Just giving it a lovely broiled or fried kind of a crust. A little bit of a light umber. And for those squiggles on here, just a bit of espresso. And to bring it all together, some more goldenrod, just to get rid of those white speckles. And a little more of the mineral orange. There we go. For the dish, I'm gonna go for cool grays because I do have the cream colored apron behind the plate and I want a little bit of contrast. So a white ceramic dish would not work as well when it comes to high contrast. There we go. Next up is the barrel. Barrel, light umber, chocolate, espresso, cool grays, and where is my, there it is, French gray, 90%. So I'm gonna start with a base of light umber. Next is chocolate. And espresso. And more light umber, again to get rid of those white little speckles on the page. Just blending everything together. A little bit of the French gray here for the rim of the barrel. There we go. On to the next part. And there I go with my cool grays. And a little bit of the slate gray. And again blending with the lightest shade I used. Next barrel part. espresso, but I gotta sharpen that pencil. And just like before, I'm adding some more of the light umber to blend and to just, well, have a little bit of a richer brown shade and not so many white speckles. And just like before, I'm coloring the next section with my cool grays. And some more of the light cool gray. All the gray parts are done on the barrel. Whoop whoop. Let's sharpen this one. I hate the edge of pages. I really like that in some books they have something like a frame almost that encloses the picture, but is like a centimeter or something away from the edge of the page. Helps so much. And now I'm gonna take my French gray and enhance the outlines of those metal rings here. See, I gotta add a little more onto some of the markings here, like the wood grain. Et voila, the barrel. Onto Hamish. What am I color you? Well, first of all, he's eating some bread. So let's go with that bit first before I think about what his clothes will be colored like. I'm kind of toying with the idea of using the black grape that I used on Column's jacket, because, well, he is Column's son, and it might tie them together across the picture a little more, and also it gives me the opportunity to have color repetition for him. So why not? Let's go with black grape. No, that's Tuscan red. Black grape. There we are. At least for the jacket, I'm currently only looking at his jacket. I will definitely not give him black grape colored pants. Other side. Gotta concentrate a little not to color things with this pencil that are not supposed to be colored. And jacket or coat. I think this is quite long. I think it's more of a coat, not a jacket. Okay, I'm gonna use a little bit of the indigo blue for shading. Anything that is buttons, I'm gonna disregard for now, because just like with all the other people's clothes, I'm gonna take care of that when it comes to the gel pen section. I think for the pants and for the vest, I'm gonna go with grays, again, cool grays. Let's start with the light gray. Then going on with the next darker shade. I think the combination of purple, gray and yellow is a lovely one, and I'd like to reuse it over and over again. Those colors just complement each other when they're next to each other or on a piece of art. All right side. Do I have another darker color that is cool grays? I don't want to use another pencil that I haven't used before. I don't have cool grays in darker shades with me, so I'm just gonna take a warm gray just to darken up a few bits. Onto the pants. They go up to here. And I'm gonna shade them just the same way as like color-wise as I did the vest. And again, I'm blending those 3 layers together before I bring in the warm gray to work a little bit on those wrinkles and folds of the fabric. And also shade the darkest darks, like here underneath his hand. Like so. Onto the socks. I'm gonna use warm grays for that because I think they look a little more beige-y. And yes, that's a word. So I'm just starting off with 10% warm gray. And then going on to 30% French gray. And then 50% French gray. And I'm extending the legs to the edge of the paper. And of course, I'm also going to blend all those layers together with the lightest shade. So my first color for those layers, for that section, for the socks. There we go. Now he's not floating. He's sitting on the floor, but I'm gonna color that section here once I'm done with once I color the rest of the floor, and I'm just gonna incorporate that little bit here. Sip of tea and on to the dog. Starting off with the tongue. And a little bit of, so I used the crimson red, and I'm gonna put a bit of the black grape on top. Now, question is, what is the color of this dog? While I decide, I'm just gonna color his collar. I'm using this slate gray, and where's my, there it is, the indigo blue. Because that combo is reflected in this gentleman's jacket here. So again, color repetition, and also coloring something the same way as I did somewhere else on the page. Definitely has a black nose. And I think he should be a yellow ochre kind of a dog. Or should he? Yeah, maybe with the light umber. That could be something. And maybe a little, no. Difficult. Maybe he should be a multicolored kind of a dog. So let me take French Gray 30. I'm definitely gonna keep the yellow shades. Maybe a little bit of chocolate and light umber, and probably other beige tones as well. Or maybe warm grays. Let's see. We'll see. I'm gonna start with the 30% French Gray. gonna give him like a base coat of that French gray. And then I'm going in with a little bit of yellow ochre. And to not have it look too yellowish but a little warmer, I'm adding the goldenrod. And I'm also adding goldenrod here and there where I didn't put the yellow ochre underneath. Pretty much just working with the line work here where there's little bits of fur. And then I'm going on to the light umber, bringing in a very, very light touch. Because I don't want to necessarily cover up all of the light gray. Just want to add a little bit of a brownish hue to it, make it a little darker. And that's the alarm clock of my roommate.
Sorry.
No problem. Okay, now I can go on to shading the brown. So I'm taking the chocolate pencil and I'm just going over some of the darker bits. Especially the sections where I use the light umber. And give them a little more oomph. Gonna darken that up even more. I think I'm gonna bring in the espresso pencil in a hot minute. And I need a little bit of that brown also on his tail. Like so. Where's my espresso? There it is. And I'm not talking about the coffee, but the pencil. Okay. That's a dog, but I'm gonna add just a little more of the goldenrod. There we go. Now the only thing to do with colored pencils, oh, I didn't push up that dude high enough. Not the dude, the book. Now the only thing I have to do is color the floor, and I want to go for the French grays, so the warm grays for that. 90%, I need you. That's a warm gray. I don't want to go too light. Maybe I should bring in a few of the warm grays, not only the French grays. So let's start with warm gray 50%. And while I color the floor, I'm also gonna color those bits between the frock and the legs of Hamish. Then I'm moving on to 70% warm gray. So this is like a stone floor in the castle, and people seem to be building stuff or moving in my house, so sorry about that. There's a little bit of hammering noise and such in the background, I guess, for the rest of the video. I hope it's not too distracting. And then I move on to 90% French gray. And I'm only coloring the upper part of the floor plus the space in between the coat and the pants of Hamish. And now I can go back to the 50% warm gray and bring stuff together. And I'm going to take a little bit of black, just to enhance the shadow underneath the tablecloth. Like so. And I went over the skirt and I don't want that. All right. Now I'm gonna grab my gel pens and then the final bit of the video and the page start. Okay, let's go. With all the gel pens, I'm just going bit by bit by bit, and I'm gonna switch between pens to get things colored. So let's start off with a black gel pen for his buttons. There's two over here. Ouch. Then need to go with a marker, like just a black permanent marker for her eyes. Him, gonna go with silver. For the brooch. Oh, and I saw something. Black pencil. There's a tiny little bit of the background uncolored. So silver gel pen for his brooch. And a dark blue for his eyes. And also silver for the buttons. Anything else on him? No. Let's go over to Dougal. Gonna give him black for the eyes and something of a darker color for the outside of the brooch. It's shimmery, it has like somewhat of a little bit of glitter in it. It's a very dark gray. And in the middle, he's gonna get the light silver. I think his buttons are more on the copper or gold side of the spectrum. And the silver for his belt buckle. And I need a little bit of white for reflections on glasses and such. So gonna use a little bit of a darker silver for him on the buttons. And black for the eyes. And for Jamie, I think I want a little more of a copper tone for his buttons. At least on the jacket. And on his vest, I'm just gonna take a brown. And of course, white for his glass. And then I'm gonna take, if it activates, that's too light of a yellow. That's more like it, a very shimmery dark yellow for the candles. And that's my tummy. Black eyes. Whoa! There's pencils rolling over my desk. Black marker for the boy's eyes. That's that layer onto Mrs. Fitz's eyes. Again, white gel pen. Oh, I forgot something up there, but I gotta let those gel pens dry for a bit before I go in again, because otherwise I'm gonna smudge stuff. Sheesh, what's wrong with my tummy? Really makes weird loud noises. Just really going over the whole page bit by bit to see what there on the candelabra, for example. To see where I have to put in some reflections. And now I can turn the page and bring in too shimmery. I want a darker brown. Do I have some? Not really. No, that's too light. So let's go with the brown I used for Jamie's buttons on the vest. and add that for the laces of the bodice here. And I'm going to use the same for Mrs. Fitz for the laces. This one is not really activating. I don't like that. Never used that pen before, so why do you not activate? I don't like that, so you are gone. I'm gonna take the other one that I used for the other buttons of Jamie's jacket in this case. This one activates just fine. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Nothing else on Mrs. Fitz to do, nothing else on the table. So on to Hamish. I'm also going to use black for his eyes. I think I'm going to go over Column's eyes. I'm not too fond of only the blue. Same for the dog. Black pen. And for Hamish, he gets dark gray kind of buttons with sparkle in them on his jacket. And also on the pants. And the darker silver for the buttons on his vest. Lighter silver gel pen for the buckle here on the collar. Now I have to check the whole page if I missed something. Let's see. Oh, Jamie's eyes. I think, oh, No, I don't think. I forgot the buttons on the chair. Oh, and I'm throwing things, which I'm not supposed to do. Buttons on the chair. Okay. Checking even more. That seems to be all of it. Yep, I think I got it all. At least I don't see anything that I missed, so I'm pretty sure that I covered everything. Let me zoom you out a little bit so that you can see the whole page. Ow! Again, spasms in my legs. Yay, not great. Oh, wrong direction, not zoom in, zoom out. Let's see. There you go. This is the completed picture. I hope you enjoyed watching along, maybe coloring this page with me. If you have questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. Like I stated earlier in the video, all the pencils and gel pens that I used today will be listed on the final blog post for this picture. And next time I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna let you know in the vlog or Facebook when I'm gonna start coloring this picture, when a new video comes out. I hope it's not too long into, or not too far into the future, but once I have my commissions completed, I will get back to filming Beyond the Lines. So have a good time, enjoy the time until we see each other again on these videos, and do some coloring, enjoy life, and take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Bye.